Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Good evening. Pastor Dixon here. Let me tag some folks right quick. See if we can get some folks online. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Good friends, good evening, one and all. Hope everyone's had a wonderful day. Let's see. Once again, I just had to pull over to try to jump on because I'm in my vehicle again. Let's see. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, let's see. How we doing? All right, folks, what's going on? Yeah, sorry I'm running so late right now. I just left from the Charleston County Democratic Party meeting a little while ago, and I was trying to make it back in order to get this live from home, but didn't make it. So here I am parked in the Target parking lot, just ready to take a couple of minutes out to talk about a few things that I think are really important. I'm going to give folks a little bit. Excellent. Thank you, Damon. I appreciate that. Going to give folks a couple of minutes to get on. It's been a long day, and I'm not going to hold you up too long. When I put the announcement out, I talked about, and I might want to repeat this, but one of the issues I wanted to talk about was the Mayor Summey's State of the City address tonight. But unfortunately, I haven't actually had a chance to listen to much of it, only a few minutes. And with fairness, I'm not going to prejudge what he had to talk about until I've listened to what he had to talk about. I try my best to maintain that level of integrity, that if I'm not certain about what I'm talking about, then I'm not just going to go rambling on about stuff. So until I actually watch the video of the State of the City address for North Charleston that Mayor Summey did this evening, I'm going to comment. I think we all need to operate at that level, because it's one thing I've learned about our community. Boy, we do a whole lot of gossiping and have no fact behind that gossiping. My brother Damon Fordham talks about the online, the social media gossiping, which when you share things that you don't know is true, that's just another form of gossiping. That's all it is. But it's good to see everybody this evening. Like I said, I'm only going to be a few minutes. I want to thank everybody that supported or came out to the MLK Day rally. Was really an amazing day. We had a good time out there, and the information was put forth. Information that is clear, a clear contrast between the message and the mission that Dr. King lived and died for, as opposed to the way we live in the state of South Carolina, that rejects the thing that Dr. King stood for, but still in all they want to say, oh, the great Dr. King, we celebrate Dr. King and we want to have a parade. No, if you really want to celebrate Dr. King, do what he talked about doing. Let's believe that healthcare is a human right and give health care for all. And let's believe that quality public education is the way to go, and not down that slope that's going to lead us to privatized education. Believe the things that he believed, that people deserved a fair wage, not a slave wage for a day's work, and that people had the right to collectively bargain. He was a union supporter too. And in South Carolina, none of those things, we don't believe in none of that in South Carolina, in the state. And our legislators, that 2/3 majority Republican legislation that we've had for so long, that I'm going to be talking more about on Sunday, I don't see why they even claim to celebrate Dr. King or want to tell their people Dr. King was a great man. There's a contradiction and a frustration that's going to be given to their children, because their children are going to grow up to say, man, he was such a great man, but you ain't do nothing that he wanted, nothing that he believed in, you know. So I just wish that folks in South Carolina stop being so hypocritical, you know. If you don't believe in what Dr. King said, stop talking about, he's a great man. Just call him what you think he is. I ain't gonna put no words in nobody's mouth, but I know there was plenty of words that was used about Dr. King 50, 60 years ago that would apply to today, to the General Assembly in South Carolina, the 2/3 majority General Assembly in South Carolina, a lot of our mayors and municipalities, a lot of our who don't believe in what Dr. King stood for, who would definitely, I think, would have a word, a very disrespectful type terminology in order to describe him. So enough of that rant. Hello, wifey. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you. Yes. My representative online too, Representative Crystal Matthews. Good to see you also. Everybody else, Jesse, Aaron, all the good folks online. Good to see y'all. Okay. As I was saying, I'm not going to comment tonight on the May of the City address because I have not watched it. Only had an opportunity after leaving from the Democratic Party, the Charleston County Democratic Party meeting, to watch only a few minutes of his commentary. And I definitely am not in the habit of misrepresenting or misjudging based on the fact that I just think something was said. No, I'm going to wait till once I listen to it, I will comment on it, okay? So that's going to move on to the elections, okay? We're in an election season. We're in the 2020 election season, and there's a lot going on. We have our presidential campaign, which has everybody in the world is a part of it and carrying on. We've had some people drop out, and we've had some people still hanging in there. Of course, I'm never going to tell anybody who they should vote for. That's your own business. Do your own research and vote your own conscience, okay? But as far as voting, today's the 23rd of January. Registration to vote in the primary election, okay? And I don't want to turn nobody off right here. I want everybody to understand that you have an obligation not only to vote in November, but also to vote in this primary election that's going to decide who is going to be, who South Carolina prefers as a presidential candidate, okay, to represent who South Carolina prefers in the Democratic race. So the registration to vote in that election is going to take place on February 28th, I believe it is. But you have to be registered by January 30th. Okay, so you got like 5 days to get registered to vote. Okay, I'm going to encourage everybody to please vote in this primary. This is a presidential primary. Again, I'm going to encourage everybody to vote. And everybody on here, please tell the people that you know that it's their obligation also to vote in this, so we decide who's going to be the best candidate moving forward. South Carolina feels is the best Democratic candidate moving forward to represent us. This election is just as important as the election is going to be held in November. So we need to begin to have that participation. You're going to hear me talk more and more about elections and election participation as time goes on, because it's crazy that we have these darn elections, but we only get 15%, 20%, 25% turnout, And I understand the frustrations with people when they don't want to go vote, especially people who have watched older people or whatever go vote, and then their communities never got better. And a lot of people promised them things that they didn't come through. And I understand that. I get that. You've probably heard me on these lives talk about it before. But that doesn't mean that we continue on the path of not voting. We see that the communities haven't got better, so maybe it's about time for us to flip that script. Maybe it's time for us to go to the polls, and let's see how it turns out from that point. So this election, this first election this year, is going to be for the presidential candidates. It's the primary to determine who in South Carolina for the Democrats, who is the favored candidate out of all of those in the field. And there's a whole lot in the field, so do your own research about them. I know who I support, do your own research for it. But beyond that, remember, you have 6 days left to get registered. Actually, 5 days left to get registered. To register, if you have a South Carolina driver's license or a South Carolina ID card, a legal one, y'all heard me, a legal one, you can go to the website if you have access to the internet, or you can go to the library if you, and get access to the internet, and go to the website South Carolina SC votes, VOTES, SCVOTES.org. Again, SCVOTES.org. If you have a valid South Carolina driver's license or a valid South Carolina identification card, you can go there and actually register to vote online from the comfort of your home. You can get those around you. Please go to your neighbors and ask them, or call your church members up and ask them, are you registered? And I'm going to tell everybody also, please, and tell everybody else, don't take it for granted that you're already registered. We are in a state and in a nation where black votes don't matter sometimes because they purge the voting rolls. They purge us off. So I want you to make sure, do it tonight. Go to scvotes.org, go to where it talks about check your voter registration, and type in a couple of things that they ask there. Pull up and it'll show whether you are registered, where you're supposed to go vote, who's running, and everything. And make sure that you're registered to vote. Don't take it for granted. Oh, I've been voting all these years, I'm good. Don't take it for granted. Don't believe the hype. Be about the business. This is too important. Be about the business of knowing, okay? And it don't cost you nothing to do that. Check and then get ready to, after you're registered, after you've checked, get ready to go vote. Early absentee voting, which I think there's like 16 reasons why you can vote early absentee. Early absentee voting, I think, starts on the 31st of January, something like that. It'll go for 30 days before the actual election. So you have an opportunity to vote all the way up until the election day, which is, I think, it's February 28th. In-person absentee. Now, in-person absentee would be over at the South Carolina, the Charleston County, South Carolina Elections Commission headquarters over off of Leeds Avenue, behind where the closed down bylaws at. Okay, the office is down that little road down there. Go down that road, and that's where you would vote. Cast your in-person absentee ballot, and that's for 30 days prior. It starts on January 31st, I do believe. Please, vote early. It's okay if you qualify. And like I said, there's 16 reasons why. They're all on that same spot, scvotes.org. They're all right there, and you can look them all up. And look right there and see which one fits for you, and then go vote earlier, because all they're going to do is ask you, what reason are you voting? And then you tell them whatever reason it is. It's one of those 16, So, yeah, Donna, if you want to sign up, folks, for early voting, you only got 5 days left, okay? 5 days left to get people registered. And I'm telling you, the best way to get people registered right now is if they got a valid driver's license or an ID card, is to do it online, okay? Is to do it online. That's the best way. Okay, now, following the primary, okay, that's going to decide who the South Carolina favorite Dem is for this, okay? And moving forward, there'll be the actual election itself, okay? Let me just go to November. Well, after that, there'll be a primary for our state candidates. I believe that's in June, because we also have people in the state house here that are running for state house positions, and some of them have opponents also. They're going to be having debates and things like that with. So I think that's coming up in June. So we got to get registered. Our state candidates, one of them is on right now. I know she was State Representative Crystal Matthews. She represents my district, 117. So she ran in this last election in 2018 in the midterms and actually beat a longtime Republican incumbent who just was comfortable in his seat, I do believe, and she just went and just beat the devil out of him, sent him packing. So now it's time really to do the same thing for a lot of the Republicans that are in office, have been in office. It's time to move them out. I'm going to talk more about this whole situation about Republicans and Democrats on Sunday evening. So I'm putting it out right now. Set your clocks, set your alarms or whatever for 8:30 on Sunday evening. And this whole thing is going to be technically about why I vote Democratic up and down the ballot. Okay? I ain't got time for no Republicans, period. And I just want to share my opinion on it. And I'm going to do that on Sunday evening at 8:30 p.m. in the next live that I'm going to do. So please, get registered. When you register for the primary to vote next month, when you get that registration done, you don't have to re-register. Only thing I would ask you to do after that is to make sure you check somewhere down the road to make sure that it hasn't been purged out of the system. Yeah, it's a headache, but it's something we got to do. And the reason why we got to do it is because we don't have people who will correct that in office right now. We still have this 2/3 majority Republican General Assembly, 2/3 majority Republican Congressional Senate, the Senate and Congress. The House has flipped, okay? And those are the same people that are supporting voter suppression, keeping us off the rolls. So we got to get them out. And the replacements, I mean, if the Green Party was a viable source, well, okay, we could do that. But right now, the most formidable force to replace those with are Democrats, okay? More on Sunday. Tune in. So I can't stress enough about this voting thing. And please, just because you're registered, that's not the end game. The end game is going to the polls and voting. Every time the polls are open, go to the polls and vote. That's where the end game is. We vote, we win. And I'm not going to be happy until we turn this anemic voter participation around. I'm tired of seeing those low numbers on election days of people going to the polls and the same people getting put in office. You realize that if everybody that's registered to vote in North Charleston, Democrats, would have gone to the poll, professing Democrats, Green Party members would have gone to the polls and voted against this lifelong Republican that we have in North Charleston, he would not be the mayor. He would not be. He would have lost by an overwhelming majority. If we just would have went to the polls, and when I say we, I mean Dems, I mean Green Party members, I mean progressives, whatever you want to call yourselves. If we in North Charleston, the registered people, would have just gone to the polls, Mayor Summey would have lost by a landslide defeat. Okay? This is just truth, nothing but reality. When we look at the presidential election that landed the denizen from the deep in the White House. Yeah, I said it. In 2016, and sworn in 2017. In South Carolina, out of 3 million registered voters, only 2 million voted. 1 million people in South Carolina set the election out. And look what we got. Look what we got. We got what we didn't vote for. That's for sure. Now, granted, that 1 million, you could say, well, they might not have been Democrats. Well, it's one thing I know about Republicans. It's 2 things I know about Republicans. They go vote for their people, and you don't have to beg them for money. Democrats, you got to beg Democrats for money. You got to kiss up and all of that. But when it comes to Republicans, man, once they got their candidate, they drop the loot because they know it takes money to win elections. And then those same candidates, straight up, man, I tell you what, we're the only ones that go through all these changes because we feel like people who are running for office, we gotta beg, they gotta beg you. When the reality is, you get the right people in office, you got people that's going to actually work on your behalf. Man, that's the reward right there. You got somebody that's going to get in office, going to make sure people get paid right, make sure our children getting educated right, fighting for health care for all. Man, it makes no sense, But we say beg, yeah. We the party of we gotta beg people to vote for folks or to support folks, to drop a couple of dollars to help them win, And then after they get elected, our obligation is over. We don't have to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. Oh, I'm gonna hold that for Sunday. That's a whole nother conversation for Sunday. Yes, Sunday's gonna be real interesting. So please, this election process is crucial. There's a lot of people on here tonight, and I'm not gonna stay on here too much longer. There's a lot of people on here tonight. Please begin to tell other people. Share whatever information that I post or whatever. Share it out. Talk to people. Ask them, are they registered? Tell them to go to scvotes.org and get registered. And then tell them that's just the beginning of the process. The process is not complete until you actually cast a ballot for somebody that's going to do right by you. Or you might think that's going to do right by you. Because there's some people out here that I could just talk about right now who just happen to ride on the Republican side that you know darn well they're not going to do right by you. Period. Oh, that's Sunday again. I keep messing up. I'm sorry. Y'all please forgive me. It's time for us to flip the script. It's time for us to quit playing that I'm not going to vote game. It's time for us to try something different and going to the polls, electing some people like Crystal Matthews. My representative is a beast. Straight up. She's going up into the South Carolina General Assembly. No limit soldier. Straight up. And I wish we could find maybe a whole bunch more. I know there's some that they can't fence or whatever. But trust me, Crystal Matthews is a beast. Yeah, she true. She true. And we need more people like that. We need more people like that. How many of y'all know? If I ever would have won any office, how many of y'all know that my voice was going to be just as loud or louder in that office as it is right now? Some of us ain't changing. Some of us position and status don't change us. Whereas other people, it changes them. And it's on us to make sure that people that we elect don't forget that we're the ones that put them on the office and we're the ones that can terminate them from office. Okay? So, moving right along, okay? I appreciate everybody getting on. Like I said, I'm not going to stay on here long. Please spread the word about voting. This is not a casual conversation. This is not, I know one thing. I know the party going on at the club or cruise or something like that, everybody talking about it all over. I see flyers popping up on my timeline all over the place and carrying on. Yeah, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, the whole 9 yards, And if we can be that enthusiastic about partying, then we should be even more enthusiastic about who we're putting in office to represent us. And I know we can use that excuse. They ain't been representing us. Well, okay. Well, because you stopped voting for those who might do it. And you stopped holding those that did win accountable. Oh, that's Sunday. Man, I keep messing up Sunday. Okay. Right, like I said, I'm going to cut this off short. I'm out here in the Target lot, and I don't want to look like I'm suspicious out here, nothing like that, and I'd have to answer a few questions. even though I don't mind. I'm definitely, I don't believe in trying cases out here in the street. You know, we respectfully hold conversations and hopefully live to see another day. But in closing, okay, I also mentioned about the parental counseling session, North Charleston High School. They've Principal Darby over there, and I don't know who else came together to do this, but they decided to try something more innovative as far as how to get the parents involved instead of just a PTA meeting. So they're going to do something on Saturday, the 8th of February. Saturday, the 8th of February, they're going to have, at 10 o'clock a.m., they're going to have the Stronger Together Parents Conference. Stronger Together Parents Conference at North Charleston High School. From 10 o'clock a.m., I think it's like from 10 until noon, maybe 10 till 1. I'm sure about 10 till noon. But Saturday, February 8th, 10 o'clock a.m. And it's open to all parents to attend this, okay? Not only that, there's a number, and unfortunately I don't have the number on me right now. I'll put it on my page later, you know, as I promote it more, where for those who say, well, I don't have transportation, they're supplying transportation to parents to attend this, okay? They're supplying, I say it again, you call the number, they're supplying transportation for parents to attend this parents conference. Man, this is crucial. This is crucial. This is innovative. This is how we think outside of the box about reaching people. And I applaud Principal Darby for, or whomever came up with this thought process, for moving forward with it. And not only are they offering transportation to this parents conference, they're also going to have refreshments for everybody that comes and door prizes. They're going to be giving away door prizes. Yeah. Almost like the club to get us packed up in there. Free drinks before 7? Well, I ain't say that. But they're going to have door prizes and things of that sort at the parents conference. Okay? 10 o'clock a.m., Saturday, February 8th, North Charleston High School. I'll be posting the number for you to call for those who might need a ride there. If you listen to Heaven 100.1 in the morning with the chef, Edwin Chef Wright, he's been talking about it a lot. I think that Savannah and when she has her commentary on 99.7 on Star 99.7, I think that she's been talking about it in the morning. So listen, we need to pass the word and get these parents to understand. You know, you have an opportunity now to not use I can't make it to the PTA meeting as an excuse. Okay, hopefully. And having watched some things that were being done in Atlanta in the school system there, that hopefully that there'll be other things that'll be done here outside of the box on how to get parents more engaged with their children, so we can quit having these people who like to badmouth us and point fingers at us because we don't have parental engagement and involvement. Okay, so once again, Saturday, February 8th. 10 o'clock a.m., North Charleston High School. I'll post the number up, so for those that need rides, spread the word to others about it. And please, refreshments, door prizes, please, make it a point to participate. That's what this is all about. It's time to begin to participate, and it's time for our educational system to think outside of the box when it comes to trying to reach our parents and increase parental involvement. Okay, alrighty. Well, that's going to cover it for the evening. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the State of the City address with the mayor because I haven't heard it. Okay. But I will say this much, you know, had I won the mayor's election, the mayoral election in North Charleston, the State of the City address would have had things in it like an update on how we were moving already, and we had already met toward how we were going to pay everybody in this city $15 an hour minimum wage. with the exception of our small businesses, because we don't want to hurt anybody in small businesses. That conversation would have been on the table already with business people and big business and small business in this area and the chamber. That conversation would have already started. Or the mayor would have already been a part of Mayors Against Gun Violence, for sure. For sure. And we would have already started restructuring the Citizens Review Board for the police department. That restructuring would have been done. That would have all been in the State of the City address. And also, we would have already started the process on having the police audit, the internal police audit that has been requested, paid for, put by the side by the DOJ, suppressed by the DOJ. Well, actually, Jeff Sessions suppressed it, and then has been asked to be done again and has been denied ever since then. That would have already been started also, not the but the the process would have been started in order to get the audit done. Same type of audit that was done in the city of Charleston, that pointed out discrepancies within the department that they have hence addressed moving forward. They embraced the shortcomings, the discrepancies in the department. They embraced these things and said, we need to correct these things. They've been pointed out. We need to correct them. And I guarantee you, North Charleston ain't walking on no water. And if they found discrepancies in the city of Charleston, they're going to find them up here. But for some reason or other, North Charleston don't want to have the audit, the racial bias audit done. Had I been mayor, that racial bias audit would have been definitely happening within very soon. Let me just put it that way. Right along with $15 an hour and some other things. The term limit on mayor's office would have been already changed already, and council members to 2 terms, and that's it. You out. That would have been part of the state. All of that would have been part of the State of the City address tonight. But I don't expect that when I listen to the mayor and his State of the City. So maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I would hope so. I'm going to remain optimistic about it, And for the mayor's people that might be on board here right now tonight, holla at your boy. I'm still right here, just like I've been all these other years, waiting for that call to say, hey, Pastor, what do you think about this? You got any ideas? Born and raised in the projects, been shot at and everything. What you think about it? You got any ideas on how to fix this? Just waiting. So listen, everybody, I appreciate everybody jumping on. You all are amazing. Please set your clocks for 8:30 p.m. on Sunday evening. Okay, this is going to be very important. Okay, very important that folks listen into this, because I'm going to be talking about, many of you all know, in 2016, my primary candidacy was through the Democratic Party. I was also the Green Party candidate and the Working Families Party candidate. The one candidate I wasn't was with the Republican Party or the Libertarian Party now, or the American Families Party, or whoever they are. No, I'm not. I don't roll with them. Okay, I roll with people that like to take care of the people. When I ran for mayor, I ran as a Democrat. Okay, although I do think that I really don't especially like the labels, but the reality is there's a value system that I support, that the people whose banner I might come up under, they support. Okay, so, and I'm going to talk about that on Sunday. So please set your clocks for 8:30 p.m. Sunday evening. And I need you to tell people, I'm going to be putting more information in between now and then about it. Tell people to tune in on Sunday night, because on Sunday night I'm going to talk specifically about why me, Pastor Dixon, when I vote, when I roll straight blue. And I ain't trying to feel Republicans, period. We ain't on the same page, that's all. And that's another one of those areas where I will still say it because I have Republican friends. We just agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable. We can go hang out and everything, but I'm not going to get into no kind of conversations with them about living wages or health care or gun violence or nothing like that, because we don't agree. So we stick to talking about other stuff, and just stay right there. But on Sunday, I'm going to talk specifically about why I'm a Democrat, why I support Democratic candidates, and why when I go to the polls, I'm going to vote Democratic up and down the ballot. And guaranteed there is not going to be, unless there's some chicanery, trickery, and shenanigans going on inside of that machine, you'll never see me voting for a Republican, okay? Period. I ain't even voting for no fake Democrat. And because we done exposed a few of them. Myself and Eric Bjorn exposed a fake up in Columbia in Wendy Brawley's race up there. Set him out. And because of that, and he might have been the front runner, but because we exposed him as a fake Democrat, people would not support him. Okay? All right, folks. Please, pass the word. 8:30 Sunday evening, Facebook Live with Pastor Dixon. Talk to you about why I go blue. All right? Listen, y'all, take care. I love y'all. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk soon. Peace.